My name is Barry Olodu. Okay, quickly.
So good evening, everyone. My name is not Barry Olodo. My name is Jerry Adeshewu. And we are glad to have you here for another edition of our play reading and interactive session. And I sure believe that at the end of this session,
my name is Barry Olodu.
Oh, just a minute.
Okay,
a technical overlap there. Yes. Okay, here we go. So this is Aroja Royal Theatre, and we are glad to welcome you. This is on live on our YouTube. And so for those who are not able to join us, you can catch up with that later. Aroja Royal Theatre is an Abuja-based theatre company. And in addition to all of the other things that we do, we also have this virtual play reading session. This did not start as a virtual, play reading. It actually started years back as we, put up on a monthly basis play reading sessions like this physically. With the authors or the playwrights on the seat, we get to read the plays and we get to have interactions with the playwright. For us to have further insight into the play and, of course, better understanding as our way of preparing to stage, such plays. Not all the plays that we read, get to make it on stage, not because we don't want to stage them, but because a lot of time, the funding requirement for staging productions on a regular basis is that which is a bit difficult to come by in this part of the world, or maybe elsewhere. So my name is Jerry Adeshewu again. I am Artistic Director of Aroja Royal Theatre, and this is yet another edition of our play reading session. And today we are hosting a female playwright, not the first of such we are hosting, of course. Within Nigeria and beyond, we have hosted, two others who are not even Nigerians, and then we have hosted a couple of Nigerian female playwrights, which also include Tosin Tume. So it is just interesting that after a short break, we are starting again, and we are starting with friend and sister Rahmat Ismail. And I'm sure that at the end of this reading, we would have loads of questions for her, and probably maybe we would also have questions for you at the end of the reading. I have in the house, this is an interesting one. We have the president of the International Center for Female Playwrights, Sharon Wallace, in the house. And before we read, I think it won't be out of place to request her to say, a brief remarks, before we kickstart.
Yes, it's so great to be here and to see this marvelous production, Divine Gift, and to celebrate this work from Rahmat Ismail. She is one of our first grantees, and we are so privileged that she was able to get this production staged, and for it to be the first production as theater begins to reopen after this experience that we all have been encountering since last year. So I'm happy to be here and represent ICWP, the International Center for Women Playwrights, and I'm looking forward to the performances and the interaction after the play. So thank you so much for staging Rahmat's play. We're so very proud.
Oh, great. Thank you for joining all the way to Nigeria to have us do this with us. Thank you, Sharon. And I'm sure that we will be quite excited to have you come around some more, when next we have some other readings. And of course, I don't know who I responded to on the Instagram handle to say we have an exciting, proposal which we think will benefit, will contribute, will complement what you have been trying to do with female playwrights around the world. And of course, with Rahmat here, we can get to talk about that later. So I welcome you to Aroja Royal Theatre. I welcome you to Nigeria via this, virtual platform. And right about now, we will just go straight to the reading of the play, Divine Gift. I can assure you that Divine Gift has its message. I'm not going to tell you about the message. We are going to read. You are going to see some reading. You are going to see some, acting. And at the end of the day, we can raise our questions, and Rahmat will be very much around to respond to them. And whichever one requires our response as artists, we would do. But the good thing is that we have Rahman here, who is the creator of this piece. And so we can interact with her later. In the roles here, I have some very wonderful human being, artist in the house. Papa Ene will be taken by Israel Udochukwu Isaac. Israel Udochukwu Isaac will be taken Papa, Ene. Mama Ene will be taken by no other person than our own Auntie Shine, the storyteller, Oluwaseun Odu Koya. Or Chai will be taken by Ezra Ibrahim Boboy. Onyeche will be taken by Shamsia Umar. And of course, Oja by Shade, Fola Shade Olafioye. I do hope I have not mixed it up in any way. And of course, because we are on the virtual platform, if for any reason anyone gets shut down, I will lend my voice, to it and then help take those parts of the reading. So here we go, straight on. Actors, over to you. The main stage. At the extreme right hand of the backstage, there is an earthenware pot meant for drinking water. Close to the pot, there is the fireplace, 3 stones arranged in a triangular form. Mama Ene enters the stage carrying firewood. She drops them near the fire stones, goes to fetch some water from the drinking pot, drinks, and drops the cup. Please unmute. Yeah, all actors, please unmute. Sorry. All actors, please unmute. I have to mute all because of the intrusion.
I forgot to buy kerosene again. And these children will never stay around to be sent on any errand.
Give me, they take, they collect, today, tomorrow, and yesterday. Where are they going? And where are they going?
I thought I told you to lie down after taking your medicine.
I am not feeling sleepy. What is even the use of the drugs in the first place?
How will you see anything in the drugs? Since you have not had any reason to get lost these days.
I did not get lost. It was a mistake. How many times do I have to tell you?
Yes. But to avoid a repetition of such an unfortunate and colossal mistake again, you had better remain in your room, since you are not the only mentally sick person in this village.
Every day you take delight in addressing me as a madman. But it's a shame that a madman built a roof over your head. The house that your so-called children cannot even renovate, and your son claimed to be rich.
Hey! You fail. Your insanity and stammering will vanish when it comes to an issue like this. I did a real enter your head. Look, your witchcraft cannot do anything to any of my children. Oh, you want them to come and do renovation so that you and your fellow wizards can seize the opportunity to measure their worth very well, Abi. Ali Kengbe, Kaengbe. You lie.
It isn't today that I know you. Elekat, my wife. So why would I allow my gray hair to rise over your frivolous talk?
Deny it. Deny it if you did not kill your first wife and her only son.
Look
at him.
If I were to turn to witch for only 1 second, it is your wicked tongue and heartless children that I must crush, and not my divine given precious wife of blessed memory, or that of my wonderful son. Oh God. He had only one child that was more than any worthless number produced by this evil possessed woman here. But she decided cutting short their lives and leaving me alone in this unconcerned world.
Hey, clap for yourself. Clap for yourself. Because this is a well-acted role. Come. See, come on. Come and take your sleeping dose. You must come. Come and follow me and take your sleeping dose.
Somebody should tell this woman to leave me alone. Somebody should tell this woman to leave me alone.
Come and take your drug. You must come.
Good afternoon, Mama.
Good afternoon, Mama.
Who am I seeing like this?
How are you doing, Mama?
Good day, Mama.
What a surprise visit. Thank you. My daughter gets up. How is the city? And Ene, your sister-in-law. I learned you hardly visit her, eh?
On the contrary, Mama, I always visit her. In fact, I was in her house last night. Perhaps you should inform her. Perhaps your informer meant to tell you she didn't visit us easily. She doesn't visit us easily.
Maybe she's simply busy. You know it is very easy. Well, it is not. It is very easy once you become a mother, especially now. She that is combining motherhood with office work. It's not easy at all. Anyway, don't mind me and my too much talk. I'm so happy to see you.
I was almost going to ask if we will be given a seat to sit down.
Tell me, my son. Maybe because of telephone everywhere, your sisters hardly visit. And because of your father's health, I cannot visit them either.
Oh, yes, I'm talking about Papa. Where is he, by the way?
That one. He is becoming worse by the day. He's in his room now trying to find some sleep.
Let me greet Papa inside.
You two don't even seem like travelers at all. See how fresh you are looking.
How, Mama?
My son, I can only see your wife with handbag. Don't tell me that you people will be going back today.
No, Mama. Is it possible to travel back to Lagos today as if we came in a plane? Our things are in the car. In fact, let me share one little secret with you. I brought my wife home to stay with you for some time to enable her to take some herbs that will help her, fertilize her womb.
Thank God. At last you have come to your senses. My son, come. Tell me, how did you manage to convince her to come to the village?
Mama, I have not really told her, but I will later tonight.
Well, my son, I support your decision totally. You see, you can't continue to wait on manna from heaven before you have a child of your own.
Thank you, Mama. Thank you. Please, let me go and see Papa too.
Do that, my son. My darling son. Do that while I quickly set the fire for something.
Wait, I hope you are preparing one of my favorites.
You want to bet? You can be sure.
Mama di mama.
My own son, welcome.
Thank you, ma. Good morning, mama.
My son, how was the night and tiredness from the journey?
Fine, mama. Fine, mama.
Very, very good. Welcome. And your wife?
She's still sleeping.
Hey! Women of nowadays, they are spoiled than rotten fish. Hey! Imagine a woman still sleeping at this time of the day.
Mama, it's only she's only tired. See, my wife is only tired from the yesterday's trip. If not as for strength, I can vouch for her that she's very strong and hardworking.
My wife is only tired. That is how you men of these days spoil your wives. So because she is tired, she will not wake up and sleep the house.
But mama, are there no children in the house?
And if there are, I ask you, Ochai, if there are children in the house, is she not expected to cook food and prepare your bathing water like a good wife? Or are you saying that the day that you two will return to the city, there will be no food because she is tired?
Please, mama, I only brought my wife for treatment. It is too early to start confronting her because I'm afraid that might discourage her from wanting to stay behind.
Yeah. Okay. I guess that I have to seal my mouth now to enable your queen have her peace of mind.
Papa, where are you going with clothes this afternoon?
To the stream.
Stream? What do you want to do at the stream?
My daughter, I need to go and wash my clothes.
And why will you have to do it with all these children around, Papa?
Oh, they don't wash for me, my daughter. They don't wash for me.
Why?
Oh, because they and their mother think that showing kindness to me will make them vulnerable to my witchcraft.
But that is ridiculous and sheer wickedness.
My daughter, please don't bother yourself at least. Okay? The good God who have refused to take my life, just as he did to my son and his lovely mother some years back, will see me through. It's okay, no problem at all.
No. I cannot allow this. In fact, my husband must hear about this.
That one. I am sorry to say that you are yet to know your husband. Just leave him alone.
So then I'll have to do the washing myself.
Please don't bother yourself, my daughter. Okay, I will do the washing myself.
No, Papa. How can you be allowed to wash yourself at this age and with your health condition?
Thank God you are still here. What did I hear you do these days?
Me?
No, not you, my friend. I'm talking to him. I learned you have graduated from talking alone to yourself to beginning to begging for food so that the whole village will know that you are not being taken care of. And you, whose clothes are you carrying? Is it not the clothes I learned he defecated this morning that you have close to your chest like a newborn baby like that?
My daughter, pay no attention to him, my daughter. You see, I did not defecate on my clothes. It was this morning when I went to eat myself and their mother was waiting. I waited and waited to enable me use the toilet. So I mistakenly urinated on my body.
Hear this madman. I mistakenly urinated on my body.
Honey, I can't believe I'm hearing this from you. You know what? Just a short while ago, Papa here had reason to tell me that I don't know my husband yet. And I was just going to... But now I need to ask him to explain again. But now I need to ask him to explain again.
So he has been poisoning your mind towards me. Oh, this is your new dimension. You have graduated to destroying the peace and understanding between two people.
So he has been poisoning your mind towards me, right?
Be so mean to your own father.
Oh, so this is your new dimension. You have graduated to destroying the peace and understanding between.
Oni, I'm sorry to say, but you disgust me. How can you be so mean to your own father?
Hello.
Ezra, on mute.
Can I read out for him for sake of time? Okay. Do you know how much it troubles us? Now tell me, why would an adult choose to defecate on his body?
He did not defecate on his body, and even if he did, it is health condition and age. It is not enough reason to humiliate him. Papa, please forgive my husband. I'll do the washing myself.
God will bless you, my daughter. God will bless you.
Thank you, Papa. I am greatly disappointed.
And where do you think you are going to with those clothes? At least let Mama not catch you using any of our washing bucket for those infested clothes.
Papa, you're looking bright this afternoon. May I share in the secret?
My daughter, look, the secret is you, my daughter.
I'm flattered, Papa, but why me?
See, my daughter, it's only a week since you and your husband came home. And this 1 week has provided solution to the loneliness which I suffered since the demise of my late wife and her son.
You must have been suffering a lot, Papa.
You can say that again, my daughter. You see, as I fondly called my wife, my first wife, was more than a wife to me. In fact, we agreed to marry each other with nothing but simply understanding of love. Together, we suffered all our tribulations, from delayed birth, which you and your husband is suffering now, to business failures. In fact, it got to a point I thought I had been cursed. But with the patience and perseverance of my age, we came through all that and was honored with the birth of our son, whom I named after my father.
Is that the reason why you called her Ehi?
Of course, my daughter. As you know, Ehi in Idoma language means a gift given to someone so dear to me. My late wife is a gift from above.
But do you know, Papa, since we came home, I marveled at the way you talk.
You know, because you also thought I am mad, isn't it?
Not exactly, Papa. Honestly speaking, Papa, the impression we were giving is far different from what I have seen in the last 1 week.
You're very correct. You see, any conscious man will run mad, losing the kind of beautiful love that I lost in my first son and first wife.
Please, Papa, if you don't mind, let me get your food.
Thank you, my daughter.
Papa, let me leave you to enjoy your food.
My daughter, do you see why I look brighter now? Eh? Because for a long time now, I cannot remember the last time I was served food with a lot of love and respect, as you have always done since you took over cooking in the last couple of days.
Papa, please enjoy your food. I'll be back soon.
Thank you, my second.
It's an honor, Papa. Thank you for seeing me worthy of that beautiful name. You're a special father-in-law.
Thank you, my daughter. You're a special daughter-in-law too.
Honey?
Have
been thinking of the possibility of us taking Papa along when going to. I have been thinking of the possibility of us taking Papa along when going to Lagos. Honey, I have been thinking of the possibility of us taking Papa along when going to Lagos.
What?
Have I said something wrong?
Wrong, you say? Have you said more than a wrong thing?
I don't understand.
Wait, who are you talking about? Wait, who are you taking along? Oh. So because we have not suffered disgrace in this village, you want to take Papa to Lagos as to ridicule me before my friends and colleagues, eh? Thank you, Mrs. Divine, daughter-in-law, who instead of thinking of how to give her husband a child, is busy thinking of how to make her father-in-law a second husband. I can see that you have not only been infested with this madness, but very soon you will have the honor of attending meeting with his fellow witches around. Stupid woman.
Nothing, Mama Ine.
Hey, what is all this now? Where has this good-for-nothing woman kept matching? Somebody will keep something.
Good afternoon, Mama.
Hey, look at you. How many hours does it take you to make your hair that you kept me here looking for matches all day long? I
am sorry, Mama, but I told you that I was going to retouch my hair before plaiting it.
Yeah. You are going to retouch before. So this is how you do. You mean back there in Lagos, any day that you make your hair, on such days, my son does not eat food, Abi?
Please, Mama, please. I take exceptions to such talk.
You take exception to what? To hearing the truth? Now, tell me how you can get pregnant when every single day, you have one reason or the other to make you jump out of the house. And let me pass, Joe.
My heart aches seeing my ever-smiling jewel being turned into a crying baby.
Papa, nothing is working in my marriage anymore.
It will work, my daughter. It will work. I will advise that you and your husband should return to the city as soon as possible before external influence destroys what binds you together.
That has been done already because my husband is no longer the man I came to this village with 4 months ago.
That is the more reason why you two must go back to the city.
Papa, we have quarreled over that on several occasions. In fact, he has ruled that he is due to return to the city by next week, but without me. Still, because I must continue to stay to enable Mama administer herbs that will make me get pregnant.
My son is making unfortunate that my mouth smells where he is.
Papa, please, you must talk to your people to help me talk to him. I don't want my marriage destroyed. I don't want that.
It's okay, my daughter. Just try to calm down, okay? I know that you love your husband very much. I wish your child listens to me like my late son.
Please, Papa, there must be a way out. I am already losing my senses because of the way Mama is treating me in this house.
Come, let me take you inside.
Papa.
It's okay, my daughter.
Please, I have told you not to bother Senior because I am already tired with this new style of always crying as if you are living in hell.
Honey, tell me only one thing before you leave me behind in this village.
What?
Is it wrong to love you this much?
And what kind of question is that?
Don't bother. I will stay in the village for as long as you want it. It doesn't matter what my fate looks like staying in your family's house. Perhaps this is the price that I must pay for loving you. At least, do you mind if I give you a peck? Thank you for at least showing me that there is still a little space in your heart for me.
Come, my daughter. You must learn how to take heart on an issue already decided. You must have faith that your husband will return to you soon.
Papa, I know my husband. I did not see the hope of such decision in his eyes.
You will. If not, you will regret it one day.
Off we go. Yeah.
My daughter, this kind of song can only aggravate your sadness.
Welcome, Papa.
I left you walking and I came back, you are still walking. Please try and take some rest because housework doesn't finish.
I just said, let me wash the plates before Mama will come and start shouting. No.
Does that mean that all the children staying in this house no longer work?
They do, but she said they can't wash plates to her satisfaction.
So when you were not here, my daughter, were they not washing the plates? This wife is really power drunk. Now it is no longer molesting her husband, but her daughter-in-law. Your husband, when is he coming?
As usual, he called and said he will be coming around by this weekend.
What did you tell him?
That if he doesn't show up, he should expect me in Lagos this time around.
And?
I told you that I lost my husband the week I was brought to this village a year ago.
Hello? Is anybody home? Bang, bang.
Let me see who is at the door.
Okay, Papa.
Who is there? Come in, please.
Oh, good day, Papa.
Good day, my daughter. Please, how can I help you?
Please, I am a visitor from Lagos, and I was told this is the house where I can find my dear friend, Onye.
Oja! You're actually a dear friend, Oja!
You're this secretive woman. What happened to you?
Sorry, Papa. Please meet my best friend, Oja.
You're welcome, my daughter.
Thank you, Papa.
Please, if you don't mind, let me retire to the room and allow you to catch some old gist. Huh?
Okay, Papa. Dear friend, please let me take you get some fresh air because I know how much you enjoy using AC.
I really prefer the outside for now.
But let me take your things inside.
Wait, is it only your father-in-law that is around?
For now, because my mother-in-law sells in the market and she goes there with the children staying with her.
See, forget about taking my things inside. First, my dear friend, this gentility will one day cost your life. In fact, my husband kept asking if you are actually a graduate. How can you, in the wake of this civilization, just decide to come and condemn your life in the village?
My sister, that is what fate has done to me.
Come off it, friend. Which fate? The one created by you?
What do you expect me to do? My husband and his dear mother have ruled that until I conceive, there will be no city for me.
You always surprise me, you know. Is this marriage compulsory? I'm sorry to say, but if my marriage were to give me half of the problem you face in yours, I swear to God's name that I will not think twice before I quit. Damn! What nonsense! Damn!
Please go on. Please go on. I have muted. Okay.
You always surprise me, you know. Is this marriage compulsory? I'm sorry to say, but if my marriage were to give me half of the problem you face in yours, I swear to God's name that I will not think twice before I quit. Damn! What nonsense! First, your husband will not allow you to work, and now the final one is dumping you in the village. In fact, what were you thinking of when you agreed to stay back?
I didn't agree. Oh.
Wake up, dear friend. Please don't think that I want to destroy your life. But I must say that you need not to kill yourself for any man that does not respect you as a woman.
But what should I do? He won't listen to me except his mother said otherwise.
Motherhood or no motherhood, you need a career. You need some form of distraction a little. In fact, without that, your mind won't even be settled for you to conceive. And talking about conception, by the way, where is the husband that will make you conceive?
Ochai wasn't like this before.
And now that he has changed, what's next? Please, since I'm in Benue already, let me see how I will be able to see my own mother-in-law.
Yeah. I didn't even offer you anything to drink.
Not to worry. I just don't want your mother-in-law to come and see me because such people don't like to see their daughter-in-law keep friends. Please, my regards to your father-in-law.
Thank you so much for your love, my friend. Please continue to pray for me.
I will try.
Ugbaju people, come on! He wants to kill me, oh!
Is this my son mad? Is this my son mad? When did he return to the village that he is already beating the wife? Oh, where is this girl? Where is this girl family? Before they will have their daughter corpse delivered to their doorstep unannounced.
Papa, please leave me. Let my husband kill me today to appease his mother. Wicked man. Why didn't you wait to complete your task? Why did you have to run through the back gate?
Don't you dare mention my name in your fight. Disrespectful child. Your husband came since yesterday, and up to now, you have not prepared any reasonable food to welcome him. Okay, I agreed. He came late last night. But what about this morning? You could only make tea. And here you are crying crocodile tears.
Papa, you saw me when I left for the market this morning. I returned early enough to enable me set his lunch on time, but he said he wanted to talk to me.
You see? The problem with you is that's your tongue. You cannot keep quiet. That's your tongue.
Elakache, my wife, you are indeed a wicked woman. Baby! Why don't you leave this children to handle the marital issue alone? Wait!
Please, Papa, don't receive any insult on my behalf this afternoon. You don't know people used to say, the fight that someone can't fight, he can at least run away from it. I have finally come to the end of the road. I must take my leave.
Hey, go. What are you still waiting for? Go, leave and see if my son, my handsome son, will not remarry a productive and fruitful woman in 2 months' time. Just 2 months. Hey, I want to leave.
Please, my daughter, don't listen to this woman. She has a bad tongue, and I'm sure you know it.
Excuse me, which woman has a bad tongue?
Ochai, what is wrong with you?
Yes. Mama told me that it's you, that you are the one that used to encourage this thing to insult her.
Is that the reason why you traveled all on the way from Lagos to come and humiliate the woman you've already destroyed? I feel sorry for your life, my son. Should this child be made to leave you as your mother desired?
Let her go. After all, there are so many women scattered all over the places.
Now I know that you're a very, very big fool. So many women, as you have put it, cannot for a while, cannot make for a wife. At least the types that can bear with you, with your kind and your mother here.
Let her go. That is what my son said.
Let her go.
Hey, don't insult me. Don't insult me.
Don't stress because I will go. Don't stress.
I go.
Oh, please do not do as what they said. For that will be granting them their pleasure. Please, my daughter.
I am sorry, Papa. I just have to leave this time around for a particular reason.
What reason is that, my daughter?
You remembered my husband's last visit.
How can I ever forget it? How can I ever forget it? Was it barely 4 weeks ago when he came to attend his cousin's wedding and returned very drunk?
Your son might hear you, Papa.
And what will they do to me? Please tell me something serious, my daughter.
I'm not really sure yet, and I'm ready to take chances, Papa.
I am still lost, my daughter.
I have been feeling funny since 3 weeks ago that he left for the city. I spoke to my friend's husband, who is a medical doctor, and he asked me to do a pregnancy test.
And?
It looks like I'm pregnant, Papa.
Hey, you mean you are
Your son is not aware of it yet.
But my daughter, didn't you inform him since? Perhaps that would have forced him to change his attitude towards you.
My intention was to tell him tonight when we retire for the night.
Why not tell him now, my daughter? Why delay?
Because I have resolved that if I must continue being his wife, then he must love me for being Onyeche and not just a mother of his child.
So,
I must leave as agreed. Please promise not to
So?
tell anybody until... I must leave as agreed. Please promise not to tell anybody until the right moment. Please, Papa.
It's okay, my daughter. You have my word.
Option 1, scene 2 of Act 3. Go on. Try.
Please, Mama. Mama, hurry up. If not, we'll soon be late for the introduction. I'm sure the rest people must be waiting for us by now. Papa, you're not even dressed yet.
Dressed for what?
Wait, what kind of question is that? Or has your sickness returned again? Didn't I tell you last week when I came to the village that we shall be visiting my new in-laws today for the introduction ceremony of my wife-to-be?
A year ago, when your wife was to leave this house, I remember calling you a fool. then, and today I can see that you are just a fool. You are just a fool any longer, but you have grown into a bigger fool.
Hey, I'm sorry, I'm sorry for keeping you people waiting. Ochai, I thought your father is also going.
Unfortunately, I'm not a hypocrite, and as you too, so I don't eat here and there at the same time.
Ochai, let's go. Today is not the day to listen to mad talk.
May turn your new wife into an angel.
She's already is an angel, so you can keep your prayer.
Eyes out and straight to scene 3.
Oh my daughter, what a pleasant surprise.
I was told you're the only one around, so I decided to steal the opportunity to see how you're feeling, how you're faring.
You did well, my daughter. But you did not bring my 2 grandchildren along.
That is the more reason why I came. You know, I have gotten a job in Abuja, so we have since left my village to Abuja.
That is my daughter. That is a wonderful news. But one thing though, the twins, Onyaka and Okobi, are already 2 years. But my son is not aware of their existence. My daughter, I can never deceive you. Please, I strongly believe it is time to let him know because they're his children.
My father told me the same thing. That is why I came to have you informed first. Secondly, I came to tell you that I will be remarrying in a month's time. The introduction ceremony has already been done a week ago.
I know you will certainly remarry someday. It's unfortunate that my wife's callousness has denied the special aid that divine providence gave me.
Yeah.
What happened? An accident or robbery attack?
Hey, it's our child's wife that wants to kill us. So, hey, my leg.
Child's wife.
Papa, please, I want to take my leave.
Please, my daughter, don't go yet. At least let me apologize for all my ill treatment towards you. Indeed, it is true that if you have not had the opportunity of lying on 2 beds, you can never know which one has more bed bug. My leg, oh yeah.
Sweetheart, what can I say to you? The nemesis has caught up with me. My head is so blank that I can't find the right words other than just to say, please forgive me.
There is no point for any apology. I forgave you the day I left your life. The only thing that brought me to your house was to let you know that at the time of our separation, I was 3 months pregnant, and the pregnancy produced a set of twins, a boy and a girl, who Papa here named Onyatang and Okopi.
Ah, my forefathers, forgive me. Forgive me, ah, my daughter. I have sinned against you. I have sinned against my own.
You mean we have twins?
Yeah, they are 2 years pictures when they celebrated their birthday. Maybe after my wedding next month, if my husband permits, I shall bring them down or send them through my younger brother.
Hey.
I have lost everything.
I've lost.
Papa, in spite of all my wickedness towards you, you were kind enough to go and bless my children when they were born.
You are my blood, my child. So they are also my children. The only thing is that you have missed your divine gift.
Thank you, Papa. For indeed I have missed a divine gift.
Loud it.
Yeah.
And here we come to the very end of this piece. Please, let's just kindly, if we can unmute, let's give it up to Rahmat, and of course to the actors. Please let us. We can do it virtually if we are doing it. Thank you. Okay. Oh, very, very, very quickly. I think this is one of our very, very special reading, and I know why, but I'm not going to mention. You know, apart from having the WP president in the house, we also have my auntie Ayo Jayesimi is also in the house from the Thespian family. We have Auntie Nkechi Okeshola in the house. We have Karen Williams in the house. I mean, so it's just a wonderful day for us, and I mean, this is really, you know, commendable. Thank you all for joining us, and very quickly, I see a lot. I mean, I know that I also have Dr. Tosin Tume in the house, I think. And I just read our post. Incidentally, I mentioned to Sharon earlier that we will talk about some of the ideas we have regarding the female playwrights in Nigeria. And I just read from Dr. Tume now that she's actually the chairing a committee of the African Women Playwrights Network. So I think that's quite interesting, yeah. And of course, we have Oko Owe Ocho. I hope I pronounced that well. That's one of the things Rahmat will need to do for us to start with. Some of those names, kindly pronounce them as they should have been pronounced. And then, if possible, also tell us, you know, the meaning of them. Like I was trying to say, I saw a lot. I saw a lot of things in this piece that we just read. You know, the usual mother-in-law, wife kind of relationship. I mean, the care of old and sick people, motherhood and career, you know, for women. We an element of women battering. That is, what do I call that? Violence against women, you know, childbirth and you know, in marriage, a whole lot of things, and you know, are loaded in this, you know, very short play. So at this point, I would just like to open the floor for some of us who might have questions for Rahmat, and then we can begin to have a response to that. So
I would like to ask the question of Rahmat. What was your process in developing this story and these characters?
The process of developing the story and the characters. For the actors, please, can we mute now so that we have less interference? Actors, please, let's mute until we need to talk so that we have less interference. Okay. Yeah, so Rahmat.
Yes, thank you for that very question. And I'm so pleased to have you come early on board. It shows how much you are committed to bringing up the women into achieving their dreams. I wouldn't have come this far if I didn't identify with the right people. And I must give it back to ICWP for keeping me on my toes for in the last 5 years of joining you. The piece is more like you can see most of the names there are names identified with people from my region, the Doma speaking people. And the names so far is so surprising that Israel calls the name Ochai very well. And what brings about the piece? It's more like the artistic director rightly pointed out, it's something that is very common with, especially when young couples get married and they begin to have issue with giving birth. There is always a thing of, you hardly get to see the father-in-law becoming a challenge. It is always about the women trying to make life a bit difficult, as if the issue of not giving birth is only a problem arising from the side of the wife. So having such around us once in a while and having such stories, it inspires this very piece. With something I see, I've gotten to see more, maybe 1 or 2 places, but I just have to bring in an input so that the story could make and the message can get to the point that I wanted it to be. The challenges that women face just to be married to somebody and then must have to give birth or else they are not fit to be a wife. That's the message I'm trying to address.
Well, you did that in such a brilliant way. It came through. Yes, the performances, yes, the story. Yes, it was a powerful story.
Thank you.
So maybe following up on that, my question to you will be, you have answered the why this play, and then I would like to answer, a lot of time playwrights just write, yes, they have a focus and they write and that it ends there. What precisely are you looking to do? Because yes, as we've just had a reading now, who is this play target out? Is it just a cast in the wind for those who read it to read and to do whatever they want to do with it, or what is your expectation?
Like the part where we talk about the woman career. I try to bring that aspect because one thing, just like the friend Oja rightly mentioned, the woman, apart from being a wife, is first a human being. And then until the woman identifies the fact that as a human being, she has a purpose for existing, she won't be able to do what she's supposed to do for herself. She's a graduate that have given in everything because she wanted her marriage to work. A lot of women find themselves in this circle, but they don't know that what they need to do to free themselves sometimes is to first give themselves an identity. So I try to target the women because my focus maybe has to do with addressing the voice of the woman within the marriage circle, what she stands to gain if she believes in her identity and not just putting everything, kind of trying to give up on herself just to make the marriage work. You can make the marriage work, at the same time you can still have a career. This is the message I wanted to put across.
Oh, okay. The message also the play also did show us an Onyeche who at some point gave up, but for the intervention of our friend.
Yes, because that is what I said. that most women sometimes they fail to know that first, before they become a wife, they are a daughter to somebody, they are a sister to somebody, and then they are to themselves an individual too. And then if you know yourself that you have an identity and your existence is not for the fact that you are going to get married someday. No, your existence first is for you to see yourself as that human being who has potentials to become somebody. You could be a mother, you could not be a mother as far as marriage is concerned, but it doesn't mean that you cannot accomplish something with your life. So, Onyeche, as the case be, is a character that is structured to represent that woman that have given up on herself, not knowing that she exists first as a human before she's a wife to somebody. That's the character she represents. Then the friend Oja becomes that voice that she needs, like most of us needed the voice that will push us to where we are supposed to get to.
Yes.
So Oja exists to represent that voice that will push her to her destiny and to begin to believe more in herself and to see herself bigger than where she has kept herself. So the friend represents that voice. And it's all about the women trying to build themselves, trying to encourage one another. I think that that is what ICWP represents. And I have seen that in the course of my writing, most of my piece, maybe I'm a bit biased, I try to give the woman a voice. It's not something I do consciously, but it's something I've noticed over time that my story seems to take me there.
Yes.
I think that's fine. I mean, you are allowed to do that. And the truth of the matter is that we need as many more of such voices, just like you said about Oja. And I think also that is what this play itself represents. This play itself represents that voice, which is the character that Oja played. And so as many more women that are able to, to lend their voices to the welfare of women, I mean, I think it's a welcome idea. Let me quickly take Auntie Ayo Jayesimi, and then I will read some comments from the chat box. Auntie Ayo, over to you.
All right, so good evening, everybody, and it's really a delight to be on this forum. Believe you me, Jerry, thank you so much. This is really the first time I'm hearing of ICWP. So it's a delight to be part of this network and this meeting. Rahmat, thank you very, very much for your story. I enjoyed it considerably. I think as I listened to the story and I listened to the discussion, you touched on some things that have been, that are burdens to me, things that burn at the core of my heart. Most of the time when women talk, we talk about gender parity. We talk about the Me Too movement. We talk about, all those things that, we talk about inequality, all those things that we perceive that men are either not doing for us or doing to us, or, and all that. But we leave out the issue of how we as African women treat each other. And it came out very well in the story. There is an issue when it comes to the woman and her in-laws. I do not understand where we got it from, but across Africa, you find out that generally, most of the time, I think it's getting better now as we're getting more modernized and all whatnot. But there always is that subtle, that competition for the man's love between the man, between the mother-in-law and the wife. And most of the time, the mother-in-law has a tendency to maltreat her daughter, her daughter-in-law. So that is number one. Now, and even, you've handled marriage. It goes on, it transcends even when it comes to death. How they're treated, even when a woman loses her husband. There's so many things that need to be addressed. And it's important that we, as African women and African writers who know, who can feel, who can empathize, who know where that shoe is pinching, for us to bring it to the fore. So I'm really, really, really pleased with what has been done, that has been done so far. I do hope we have many more readings where we can actually lend our voices to supporting each other. And I'm very happy about that character that was able to lend her voice.
Yeah.
More African women should talk. More the women that are cracking, in fact, now some of them are breadwinners. They're looking after their children. They are, and they're going through so many other issues. Women need to become a formidable voice for other women if we want to see Africa, develop into that continent where we have equal opportunities. And don't forget that women are very creative. They can multitask. They virtually birth a lot of things. Whatever a man puts in our hands, we birth. So if you want to see that, I think that this platform is a great platform to see this, to push this through. Well done, Rahmat. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I'm honored. Thank you.
Thank you, Auntie Ayo, and especially for spotlighting, the issues, you just raised. Just sometime within this week, I read in one of, our many Facebook posts of a man whose wife is pregnant, and then the family don't have a car, and the man made some money and he bought his mother in the village a car. And so, to ease our troubles. And the wife said, okay, thank you. You love your mother so much, you have bought him a car. I'm not against it, but I am carrying your baby and I am walking about to do everything I want to do. So you can go and sleep with your mother and I go away with the baby. And it became an issue. And someone sent that to me and asked, as the woman done well. I mean, I know somebody was trying to trap me, so I was careful, about my response. But the truth also is that, that man was probably not thinking well. And like Auntie Ayo said, that which was why I mentioned it, the issues of mother-in-laws and wives' relationship. And of course, it's something that we should speak out about. So I would like to quickly invite Oko Owi Ocho. I hope I pronounced that well. That's a Benue name, Rahmat, for you to know. And Oko is the artistic director of the Benue poetry troupe, which I think I did mention. Just in case this play needed to be presented outside of Abuja, I am sure that so we can. So Oko, you have the floor, please.
Okay. Good evening. I actually enjoyed myself. It was a very beautiful session, and why I'm even very interested in this is that for me, it's almost like using a single stone to kill two birds. Because I enjoyed the cultural sensibility, most especially the Doma name, some of the proverbs, and even the way I think it's Israel was pronouncing the names. I was feeling very happy. The most important thing for me concerning this writing is the fact that the narrative actually brings a very important discourse. How does women treat women? In the case of the mother-in-law, for instance, instead of her taking a side or understanding that her daughter-in-law is a woman like her, and she probably might also have daughters who would be going through the same thing, she actually doesn't care. And if you check through to society, sometimes women sort of participate in the oppression against women, and which I think this work brings up that discourse as a way to also sensitize women that they must also start engaging in the struggle of women generally, solidarity for fellow women. So when I actually saw the response of the mother-in-law as against the response of the father-in-law, who in every sense is the man who is in the traditional African sense is supposed to say, I need grandchildren to carry on my lineage. Yet he's patient with the daughter-in-law and all that. So I think this work is very relevant in this modern time, so as to keep women up on their feet, to also understand that they must look out for each other. So I did say it was a great work that Rahmat did there, and I really enjoyed it. And please, I hope that we'll also take this walk to Idoma land very soon.
Yes.
I can assure you of that. Just wait for the collaboration. I can assure you of that. Which you know, like I asked earlier on, I know a lot of people write plays and it ends up in text. Not to say text is not good enough, but I'm a bit biased. Until a play to have the opportunity to put this on stage sometime. I know it's a work in progress, and some of the feedbacks from here today would help, you know, to Rahmat to arrive at the final, you know, final copy. If I don't know if there is any other contribution before I ask probably my next question as we begin to, you know, wind down. Is there anyone still with a question? I have some comments already commending the play and the playwright. Like I said earlier on, Auntie Ayojayesemi is of the Thespian Family Theatre, and so our contact is in the chat. Some of us can also do that. Please, let's drop our contact in the chat room. Auntie Nkechi Okeshola of Nantap, Abuja said, very well done. Well delivered by our performers. I think Rahmat captured the issues succinctly. Kudos, that's from Ngozi. Kudos to all the performers and actors. Yeah, so those are some of the comments I have in the chat, yeah, you know. And so I just would like to say in addition, okay, Eka's hand is up. Let me quickly take Eka. Ngozi, you can unmute and speak to us. You're on, but the audio is bad.
Okay. Better.
Yes.
Yes, I'm so something that actually me, two particular starts with me. The abuse, the normal narrative we every day. Am I clear?
I just want to say that it's still not very clear. There is yeah, but can we hear? Are we hearing her? I can pick what she's saying, but I don't know if others are hearing you. There's this interference, like waves somewhere. Okay, so you can go ahead.
In our society, being maltreated by men, abused, very, very common way. But there's an abuse that we don't a lot about because of the men or a lot of women are the aggressors. Women are the aggressors against spouses, against their husbands. Not only do they maltreat physically, they also maltreat emotionally. So before the marriage was, upstanding and okay, and suddenly after marriage, a few years down, the person becomes a shadow of his former self. You see what happens to the society. But because it's easy for us to be the victim, because the narrative is be there, whenever you're able to speak, unfortunately, you're able to speak the narrative, means their own favor. It's actually very mental illness who's mad, who has mental issues. Yes, he might have had some psychological issues, but because he had been unattended to, he was uncared for, he deteriorated. But the minute the daughter-in-law paid attention to him, took care of him, his conditions improved. And which also brings me to another issue, which is elderly care in our society. A lot of our elderly ones in our society taken care of. So a lot of people in society are people have labeled as witches. We have elderly women in society have labeled as witches, wizards. Don't talk to him, don't care for him. A lot of them are that way because they are not taken care of by family, and because of the stereotype, rather than take care of them, people run away. People who have normally fed them run away from them, and many of them look mad. But a little care, and even just talking to them is enough to change the narrative. And it actually sits because my mom, I took care of my mom for almost 8 years. She was terminally ill for a very long time, and I took care of her. I was the primary caregiver. So that part of the play really, really resonated with me. So again, I must commend the playwright and everyone who contributed in making this play a success. I'm really, really proud to have witnessed this today. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you, Ngozi. I mean, before I call Auntie Shine, like I said earlier on, I reeled out and that escaped me. Care for old people. I mean, there's so much part in this one play. It's my kind of play. I mean, casts are not too many, so we can do cooperative to put it on stage if the need arises. And I mean, the issues are succinctly addressed, and that is critical to a late Nigerian comedian once said that I will say it in Yoruba that tabapejo ṣe ìtọ́jú aláìsàn bá ṣe péjọ ṣètọ́jú ẹni tó ṣe òkú ẹni tó kú aláìsàn ní kanjú lọ sọ́run. That if we unite, if we come together to take care of the sick and elderly, the way we expend money and resources on those who are late doing burials and funerals, that the sick person will not die untimely. And that's what brings to the fore a lot of time when people fall sick and you get to a point of frustration where we just leave them to a fate. And that was, what was happening to Papa and like Eka pointed out, until that gift of a daughter-in-law turn around. So before I call Auntie Shine, I will just ask Rahmat a question. Your choice of titling, why not Ehi? Why divine gifts?
Thank you very much. Yeah. Thank you very much. Actually, the working title was simply Ehi, but because at the end of the day, I felt the production was going to be handled by, if it was something there in my locality in the Doma land, I would gladly allow Ehi to sit. So Ehi is just divine gift is just the direct translation for the name Ehi, and the Doma person gives to the female child when they give birth. The name Ehi is actually the name given to a female child in the Doma land. So that is why the whole thing boils down to the word divine gift there is just to tell you the translation of Ehi, but the actual title is still coded in the Idoma language, which is Ehi. That is why it was brought alongside the translation.
I am sure that Oko will agree with me that sticking to Ehi will probably be better, because what it does to people like our president Sharon here and Karin is that they would labor to know what is the meaning of Ehi, and that would have helped us, to promote the Idoma culture a bit more. All right, so Auntie Shine, over to you.
Thank you very much. I want to say thank you to the playwright and a big well done to you. It was a delight to embody that character and try to interpret it. Two things I'll quickly lend my voice to. I support if we revert to the titling of using for reasons that Jerry has already enumerated, so I'll not dwell on that. I also want to lend my voice to your playing up of the care of elderly people in our society is something we really need to pay attention to. Now, two things that struck a chord with me particularly. One of them is also something as we mentioned, the fact that women play a role sometimes in the challenges that other women are facing as an aggressor, as also an oppressor, which is an unfortunate thing. So it's great to highlight that so that we can pay attention to it. But for me, also something that was heartwarming was the fact that it was also a woman that was the voice of reason. So that plays up the fact that we can also uplift one another, and women are actually doing that. So it's great that you played up both angles. We see the woman who is playing a part in another woman's woes. Yeah, and we see another woman who uplifts her. So it's there for us to choose which one we would rather be. And of course, it's better to be the woman who helps to uplift the other woman so that we all can live a better life and go to a better place. Another thing that struck a chord for me was when you also mentioned it when you were explaining how the character what the character represents. The woman as identifying herself first of all as an individual, as a mother, as an individual, as somebody's daughter, and as an individual. And I like the fact that when Onyeche, the wife, Ochai's wife, was facing all of those challenges and she was downcast, and at that point when she wanted to return to Lagos, and her father-in-law asked her, why would she tell her husband about the pregnancy? She said, because I want him to love me for me, not just as the mother of his children. So it's important for us women to identify to know ourselves. A lot of women are just, patching things up, and I will just stay for my children. But you are also important. You are valid. Your needs are meant to be recognized, and your needs are valid. So I like the fact that you played that up, and I think a lot women too also need to understand that their needs are valid. They should be recognized for who they are, for their personality, for the value that they bring, apart from the fact that they're somebody's mother. It's not just about that. As women, as a person, as an individual, as a career person, as everything, where a woman is valid and valuable. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Auntie Shine. And I completely agree with you. I mean that Rahmat did a good balancing, of those two voices, the voice of evil and the voice of reason. That's a good one. Like I said, we would anticipate that there will be many more voices out there who would speak, for the women cause, and ensure that we stamp some of these, evil, let me put it that way, from our society. As we round up, I don't know if you would have any further remarks to make, Sharon, so we can do that very quickly.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it was a dynamic performance, and for me, the divine gift, the daughter-in-law, she is the divine gift. If we can see that her as a metaphor, as a divine gift for the family, right? Because through her struggles within the family, right, she found and claimed her self-worth. And at the end, her husband and her mother-in-law also saw her for the first time.
Yeah.
They saw her value, right? They saw her as a human being. And at the end, she brought this family back together, although she was going off to marry someone else. But she is the divine gift. Through this struggle, she gave a gift to them all.
Yeah.
She cared for her father-in-law and brought him back to greater health. she enlightened and embraced her own identity through the support of her close friend who held a mirror to herself to let her know that she's a person and that she has value, that she is worthy of something more than what she is experiencing. And she gained strength from that to leave where she was being oppressed, to find and discover herself and give birth away from her husband. And she had the gift of these children. And she comes back to share the gift of herself and to present herself as a whole person, a woman with a voice, with an identity, who made her own choices and claimed her own life. So it was a powerful piece that should be staged and seen again and again and again.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rahmat.
Oh,
I applaud
you
you for this great work.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sharon. Thank you for those kind words and your analysis of the play. We'll continue to converse and see what we can do as to the possibility of staging the plays. Interestingly, funding handicapped us a lot of time. We do have what we call the International Women Day Drama Series. And in March of every year, we pick a play that speaks to women issues in one way or the other, or that celebrates the exploit of women. We stage every year around between the 8th to the 10th of March every year. And okay, so I mean, we'll begin to look at the possibilities of what we can do with this funding allowing us. Before we take the last word from Rahmat, I'd like to quickly inform you that I posted in the chat box an invitation for our next engagement. It's not a play reading. On a monthly basis, we have a session we call the Nigeria Northern Ireland Cultural Exchange Program. Every month, one Saturday in the month, we host theater practitioners from around the world, sometimes financial experts, sometimes production managers or whatever, to an artist to discuss issues, related to our, our trade, which is theater, which is art generally. This next session is going to be on on Saturday, the 28th of August, and it's in the noon time, 12 p.m. Nigerian time, and we'll be hosting two festival directors. That is Jasmina Ibrahimovic of the International Community Art Festival in Netherlands, and Crystal Bao of the Arts Electronica Festival, Linz, Australia. And for those who have been on these sessions before, it's an international gathering with participants from Brazil, England, USA, India, Sierra Leone. So far, we have had about 12 countries coming on board, Norway and the rest of it. So Northern Ireland, which is the co-host of this session. If you have a chance, we hope you do, it's lunchtime on Saturday at 12 noon and usually lasts for about 1.5 hours, 2 hours like this one. Feel free to join us on Saturday for that session. And Israel says, Rahmat, well done. I, however, want to suggest that you work on the point of twist that eventually made Ochai and Elakachi. Yes, I just noted that here too. Come to our senses. Not enough information was given to show us what transpired. And please kindly look into the editing of the work so as to correct the little typos and tenses that I believe must have been overlooked. Thanks for your beautiful piece. Come to
Thank
the
you.
essences meant to be typed. So that's for Israel. That's a Papa and speaking there. So thank you. And so Rahmat, the last word is for you. So have your say. I will wind down for this session.
Thank you very much for the honor. I can't express how happy I am enough, especially to the cast and to your very self. You're taking this this work beyond my expectations. I know so much have gone into the work, and within the shortest time, and knowing how much you have on your plate, you still give the work the due attention it deserves. I must go out of my way to the person that played the role of Mama Ene. I was wishing that I could just see her all the expression. I was just imagining how she was acting it, and it's so good how she got into the character and brought it out. I can't forget the role, the Shamsia. It was like it was more than the two of you did more than reading, and Israel. I was tempted to say maybe you already know who a child was, and the calling. So I'm really impressed. I really know that the actual piece has some of the Doma wordings in it, like where he almost forced himself to give the proverb on Allah Allah by Chukli or Dig Bekewu. And I was impressed because I was not expecting him to take the risk of even wanting to speak the Idoma in the first place. But he took that leap, and it was great for me. I really appreciate everybody that participated in among the cast, and let me say all the opinion, the critique have helped boost my understanding. It has been working for me since I joined ICWP, like I said, and meeting Aroja, I have longed to know them. Let me even say on several occasions, ICWP members have asked, are you sure there are no persons group around in your country that you can identify with? And I was like, I have not been able to lay my hand on any. But this project was able to make me get to the people that, because they would love me to have people in my immediate community that I can meet one-on-one as much as possible. And I'm sure they are happy that in their pushing, I've been able to identify a close family too, and I'm happy to be among you.
Thank you.
I hope that after this, I will not have to, the door will be open for me to just walk into the family as one of you.
It's open.
So it's really a great thing. And my Idoma brother, Benue, it's a good thing. I know you will still have to look at the script to see some of the Idoma writing there, so that if there is need for more work to be done on it, and I will really appreciate it. Every input, I will look into it. I really appreciate all the attention, and I'm very glad that this thing came to pass. It's a dream come true for me, if I must say it. Thank you.
Oh, great. So thank you, Rahmat, for betting this play. Thank you, Sharon and the ICWP for all the support you have given to Rahmat to get this done. And like you had Auntie Ayojaisimi, mentioned earlier on, I'm sure that the sensitization about ICP is still very low in Nigeria. And in fact, we have an initiative that could be helpful, with these. Last year, Aroja started a playwriting competition, and we had some great, beautiful entries from young women in tertiary institutions. Very, very beautiful, entries. This year is the second edition of that playwriting competition, and we received again beautiful entries from undergraduate students. And if there is one thing they need, it's the platform. They need a platform to expose their work, to critique sessions like these, and so that they can grow and then they can continue to write. And I also mentioned, because I just saw Dr. Tosin Tume's message that she's sharing a network. Sorry, please, Sharon or Rahmat, is that network an affiliate of ICWP? Is the African Women Writers, is it an affiliate of ICWP?
I am not aware of it. I just took their contact now, and I think that after the interactive section, I will make contact with them. I've been hearing about them for the first time.
Oh, okay. Because she said it's called African Women Playwrights Network, AWPN. And she is, and of course, Dr. Tosin Tume, I know very well. We have also hosted her on our reading platform before. So I know her. So I will also reach out to her. But like I said, we'll keep up the conversation, especially for those much younger ones who will need to come through. We will see what more we can do to, in our own way, also give voices, give platform to air their voices through their plays. And of course, we also have Auntie Zakari-Ismail here, who is also just knowing about ICWP. And when you talk about women playwrights in Nigeria, of course, you also cannot, forget to mention Auntie Zakari-Ismail. So Rahmat and of course Sharon, I'm sure that Zakari-Ismail will be one of those you also need. So we'll keep the conversation on. I think Yomi is also here. So I'd like to thank everyone. It's been a wonderful evening, a bit above our usual time of 90 minutes, but it's worth a while. I mean, we can talk on, we have to talk about the issues one after the other. I am sure we will talk even for much longer. Thank you for your time. And if you are able to make it on Saturday, the link is in the chat box. Kindly join us on Saturday as we discuss with Jasmine Ibrahimovic and Krista Ball. All they are going to do is to share experiences about their festival. This is particularly important for those of us who run theater companies. These are festivals running around the world. We might want to put in our productions into them sometime. So that session will be another opportunity to know about those festivals. We'll talk about more of them. Under the Radar Festival, artistic director is also supposed to be part of that session. So please join us if you can. And we'll look forward to seeing you. Our next play reading is on the 23rd of September. And this time around, we'll be reading a Swedish play by Lars Norén. We'll be reading a Swedish play by Lars Norén. It's a phygital, stage reading, because it's going to happen live on site and then virtually as well for those. Because of COVID restriction, we are going to have only 15 audience member at the reading, and then the rest of the world can watch from our YouTube and from the Facebook of the Swedish Embassy, because we are doing this together with the Swedish Embassy. We'll be reading one of Lars Norén's play titled "And Give Us the Shadows." And give us the shadows. Thank you for being part of this evening. Plenty of love, Rahmat. Plenty of love.
Thank you very much. I'm honored.
Thank you, everyone. Good night. Yeah.